The last chapter ended with circuits that lied to our eyes. Phantom voltage, loose neutrals, and flickering lights prove that electricity whispers before it shouts. Harris's words still cut deep. Circuits lie, breakers lie, fire never lies. We practiced over and over, learning that a silent meter can be as deadly as a live wire. Now Harris warned us that survival depends on one habit alone: testing before touching. One rule, written not in ink, but in fire. The workshop felt heavier that morning. The smell of insulation still clung to the air from yesterday's sparks, sharp enough to sting the nose. The wires on the bench looked darker somehow, like they were waiting for a mistake. The breaker panel stood tall against the wall, its metal door like the face of a silent judge. Harris entered with his boots striking the concrete floor, each step echoing. "Today," he said, "you will understand why rules exist. Test before touch. It is not a suggestion, it is survival. Circuits do not forgive." My palms were already damp around my notebook. Maria hugged her arms around her chest and whispered, "I already hate this lesson." Harris ignored her, pulled a lamp cord from the bench, twisted the wires roughly, and let them dangle loose. "First question. What happens if you touch a wire you think is dead?" "Shock," I said. "What kind of shock?" I hesitated. "Electrical shock." Maria smirked. Harris's eyes cut toward me. "Be precise. What can a shock do?" "Stop the heart," I said more carefully. "Correct. And what if your heart doesn't stop?" "Burns, muscle damage," I said. "And what if it's high voltage?" "Death," Maria whispered. "Can I leave now?" "No," Harris said coldly. He pulled a breaker open. "Maria, measure voltage here." She stepped forward nervously, gloves squeaking. She touched the probes. "The meter reads 0. "Good," Harris said. "Now, John, what is the rule?" "Test before touch," I said. "Not good enough." Louder. "Test before touch." Again. "Test before touch." Maria jumped at my voice, then added weakly, "Test before touch." Harris reached over and shut the breaker, then turned to Maria. "Reset it." She reset it casually. The wires hummed faintly. "What did you forget?" Harris asked. She frowned. Nothing." "Everything," he snapped. "You never reset without finding the cause. Reset blindly. Reset fire." He took the probes, touched the wires again. Sparks leaped. The lamp cord smoked. Maria shrieked and stumbled back. "What did you just see?" Harris barked. "Arc," I said. "Arc fault," he corrected. "And what does an arc fault do?" "Creates heat, destroys insulation, starts fire." "And what device protects against it?" I thought for a second. "Breaker." "No," Harris barked. "Breaker doesn't see arcs. AFCI does. Arc fault circuit interrupter." "Say it." "AFCI." Again, "AFCI," Maria muttered. "I hate letters." "You'll hate fire more," Harris replied. Older John, narrating. Years later, I walked into a bedroom blackened by flames. The breaker never tripped, because the current was not high enough to trigger it. The arc ate the wires slowly until the curtains caught. The inspector shook his head and said, "Code is written in fire." He was right. Every rule exists because someone died without it. Harris turned back to us. "John, what is PPE?" "Personal protective equipment," I answered. "Why?" "Wear it. So sparks don't blind us." "Arc flash protection." "Correct. Arc flash burns hotter than the surface of the sun. You know what clothes do at that temperature?" "Catch fire," I said quietly. "Yes, and skin." "Melts," I whispered. Maria made a gagging sound. "Can we stop now?" "No," Harris said, "because circuits don't stop. They wait." He handed us insulated gloves and a pair of safety glasses. "Put them on. We will earn them." We practiced. Harris loosened a wire in it, in a junction box. The bulb flickered faintly. He turned to me. "What do you see?" "Loose, neutral. And what does it cause?" "Flicker. Overheating. Fire," Harris snapped. "Lights don't flicker for beauty. They flicker for warning." Older John, narrating. "I once saw a warehouse floor dim every night. The crew joked about ghosts. One day a junction box burst into flames. The neutral wire inside had been loose for months. Jokes turned into lawsuits. The truth is simple. Flicker means danger. Harris reset the demo and drilled us with more questions. What is the unit of current amps? What measures resistance? Ohmmeter. What's the formula for power? P equals V times I. What happens when current doubles? Power doubles. And when resistance halves? Current doubles? And if insulation fails? Shock, arc, fire. Maria groaned. Every answer ends with fire. Because you always forget, Harris said coldly. The drills went on. Sweat dripped down my back. My palms ached from gripping the meter. Maria fumbled with probes, almost touching them together. Sparks hissed and she yelped. What mistake? Harris barked. Probes too close, I said. And what could it cause? Short circuit. What happens in a short, unlimited current? Breaker trips, or wires melt? Correct, turned to Maria. And what if the breaker is oversized? She frowned. Then the wire melts first. And what does melted wire mean? Fire, she said flatly. Correct? Older John, narrating. I saw a contractor install 30 MP breakers on 14-gauge wire. The wires overheated silently for months. The day it failed, smoke curled from the drywall. Fire doesn't shout at first. It whispers, and then it eats. The lamp glowed steady again. Harris folded his arms. Lesson 1. Circuits lie. Lesson 2. Breakers lie. Lesson 3. Fire never lies. Always test before touch. Closed the panel with a metallic snap that made me jump. Maria slumped onto a spool of cable, exhausted. I'm never touching a wire again. You will, Harris said. Because tomorrow, we move beyond circuits. Tomorrow, you meet the veins of power themselves, wiring materials, and wiring doesn't lie. It burns. Right. My chest tightened. Wiring materials, cables, conduits, insulation. If circuits already felt deadly, what would the wires themselves hold? Maria groaned softly. Why can't we just stay with fake ghosts and flickering lights? Harris stared at her. Because ghosts don't kill you, mistakes do. The silence hung in the workshop like a weight. Coming up next. Episode 10. The Veins of Power, the Language of Wires.